case you didn't notice, today's music, Radiohead. At 3:17 today, guys, I got an email from my staid personal accountant that said, quote, "When will this pain stop?" Yeah, it was that bad out there once again. The major indices were all down 2% plus today, and no, this show isn't a rerun from last Friday or from any other day from the past few weeks when the markets were also down 2% plus on the day. There have been plenty of days like that since the indices blew off the top a couple of months ago, late October, of course. Indeed, since the markets topped themselves out back then, the NASDAQ is actually down 15% from its highs. The S&P 500 down 12% from its highs. Another 5%, and the media will start calling this a bear market. I don't ever like to trade off of irony, but it'll finally be a good time to buy at that point. And speaking of irony, you've got to at least want to buy when your accountant is calling you up and emailing you, panicking, even if I'm not actually this time, but just keep it in mind. And finally, one more quick rewrap on the Intel out after hours. Basically in line, numbers pretty good. The market's going to hate it anyway tomorrow. Rebecca?
Hello.
How are we doing over here? It's like 2 minutes of non-breathing. But
hey, they are one of the greatest sports stories of our time. Perennial underdogs overshadowed by better-known local rivals. They battle in a hyper-competitive market, kind of like TV, but not really. But the New Jersey Devils have won several championships and have been one of the most consistent NHL franchises over the past 2 decades. Now they have a new arena, and besides fighting with other teams, they are fighting some rule changes. Many observers say those rules are steadily eroding the league's fan base. Joining us now, Jeff Vanderbeek, owner of the New Jersey Devils and a former Lehman Brothers managing director.
How you doing, Mr. Vanderbeek? Thanks for coming today. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
And technically, you weren't just an MD over at Lehman. You ran the fixed income desk, correct?
Actually, fixed income, and then I ran capital markets when we put it together with equities.
And that was probably a little bit of a hectic, troublesome, sometimes hair-raising job. The markets today remind you a little bit of past times?
They absolutely do. You know, it's 98.com.
The more things change, the more they stay the same.
Russian debt crisis.
And is that
Tesla
where you
bonos,
all over
again.
Okay. Is that where you got your money to buy the New Jersey Devils?
Absolutely.
Nice. All right.
Yeah, that's great.
We love those business success stories here.
Yeah, we do.
So, what do you make, before we move on to New Jersey Devils, we have plenty of time for that, no worries, but what do you think of all these investment banks writing down these billions of dollars?
When is Lehman going to be part of the Chinese communist government? Lehman Communist Corp.
Probably never, because you know what? It's the ones that got in last that are having the problems. You know, the ones that did it first time have been doing it for a long time. But then there was, you know, that desire to get that easy money, and it's always the last ones in. So
you're saying the foreign governments buying these guys are probably going to come back and haunt? They're not going to make money on it anyway. They're
probably
the last guys in the door.
Probably not. And you know, it's a lot of it's the commercial banks, the retail houses that are actually tried to get in to do what the trading houses actually did, and they didn't do it as well.
Right. Wait till the hedge funds take over the whole world, I guess, right?
Well,
that's what they'd like to believe.
You got out just in time, and now moving over to the New Jersey Devils, but still, you've got quite of a challenge there as well to get people in the arena, to go watch hockey, to get into hockey.
Yeah, it was fun for me. I mean, I was at Lehman Brothers for 24 years, and you know, we've been through a lot together, and we got the place to where it's unbelievable. On firm footing, we had a great bullpen, but I had a chance to do something different in my home state. I lived in New Jersey my whole life, and do something what somebody said couldn't be done, which is to build the Rock in the arena in Newark.
In Newark.
Be first in the tri-state area, be the first new state-of-the-art technological advanced building, and we got it done. So we're excited.
And so how is that the impetus for getting new people in? I mean, obviously it's going to be good for Newark. Is it also good for the New Jersey Devils
and the league in general?
Yeah.
In the league in general?
It's good for all of them. It's good for New Jersey. It's good for the Devils. It is good for Newark, and it's good for the league. But what's happening is attendance is up about 31%.
Wow,
we lead the league year over year. It's across the street from mass transportation, Penn Station. From right where we are right now, if we went to the Garden, you know, we'd be there in about 15, 16 minutes. So we're now averaging about 53% of mass transportation. Last year, we averaged about 2%. A few buses came in. That also has enabled us to get fans from all parts of the state. In fact, one real interesting bit of information. On the Bon Jovi concert, we opened with Bon Jovi on October 25th for 10 days. American Express did a pre-sale. They had 3 days of an exclusive pre-sale. They sold 33,000 tickets in 3 days. 75% of the tickets were with New York zip codes.
Wow.
So people were just coming in on the rails and just enjoying the concert.
And a lot of people were talking about doing this story there. They talked about the rule changes in the NHL, that they were intended to help get the scoring up to make the game more exciting for fans, but people perceive it as doing the opposite. What's your take?
Well, I'll just give you the facts. The facts are that the NHL is 2 years out of a lockout. The first year out of the lockout, they set a record in attendance. First time in the history of any pro sports that you would come out of a lockout, you missed a year, and set a record. The second year, they set a new record. Okay? And this year, this is the third year, and we're on pace to set a new record. So the attendance has never been better. We just had an outdoor game. Okay,
yeah, that was
on January 1st.
Here, yeah.
Set record attendance for viewership. And in fact, Versus, where we moved over, is up 33% year over year in viewership. So the league couldn't be better.
So maybe you just need to rip the top off the Rock, man. And then
you know what? That would be pretty cool, right? That would be pretty cool.
Why
Central
do you think
Park.
that's so, though? Why do you think that hockey is doing so well? What is it doing that's bringing all these people in?
I think it's a lot of things. I think people are getting used to the fastness of it, if you will. It's an incredibly fast sport. You know, it's not, you don't go for commercials every 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah, that's great.
Some of the new young players are big help. The Sidney Crosbys, the Malkins, you know, those type players, the Zach Parisis of the world are doing a great job. And then we do have some new rules that speed up the game, and also the shootout. People are loving the shootout. I know people that are just surfing the TV at 9:30 to find out what game's in overtime so they can watch a shootout.
Very cool. It's I don't know. It's a very exciting sport. It really is. I don't know a lot about it being from New Mexico.
Yeah, well, I'm from San Jose, and the San Jose Sharks are big time out there, and it's California.
One of the top 2 or 3 teams in the league this year, you know.
Jeff Vanderbeek, thank you so much.
Best of luck with the
Go
Devils.
Devils.
So much.
Go
Thank
Devils.
you very much.
Go Devils.
Take care.
Indeed.
Bye-bye.
Well, on tap next, if the worst does come true, that dreaded R word, how do you make a buck in bad economic times? On tap next.